The following is a presentation of 912 Sports. Welcome to On Air with 912 Sports, your number one source for high school sports. With Sean Smoke, Kevin Price, and Robbie Ross. On Air with 912 Sports is brought to you by Coastal Pines Technical College. Go Coastal. Prime South Bank. Find your prime. Robbie Robertson Ford, because Fords are cheaper in the swamp. Gibson Animal Clinic, practical solutions with limited fees. Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, the region's best orthopedic care. And Kim Smoke, licensed realtor with Crossway Realty.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
This is Kevin Price for On Air with 912 Sports. A week ago tonight, I was out at Marshside Grill in Brunswick for a book signing by a legendary Georgia Bulldog. It was none other than Buck Bellew, the starting quarterback for Georgia's 1980 national championship team. Bellew has a new book out entitled Inside the Hedges. It's a look back at Georgia's championship run through the starting quarterback's eyes. It also goes into his playing days in high school for the legendary Valdosta Wildcats. He goes into his own personal recruiting stories, and after all the books were signed, Buck took time for an interview with 912 Sports. Just kind of talk about what people can expect when they sit down to read it.
Well, the book starts my first day on campus, and I got some great advice from a high school teammate that was already at Georgia, Keith Middleton. He said, park in the back, man. Park in the back. You don't want to park up front as a freshman, man. They're going to haze you. They're already waiting to haze you being a quarterback from Valdosta. So that's the way the book begins. And then I go through the Valdosta High experience, playing for the Wildcat football program and growing up in Valdosta and talking about Wright Bazemore, one of the greatest high school coaches ever, and really, I had so many people that asked me through the years, how did Valdosta do it? And so I sort of lay it out there, what I think the secret to success was. Great coaching, the community bought in, a lot of support, everybody got coached, all 100 players. So, we get into some of that. We go through the recruiting experience, which, we got some great family stories that came out of that. Pepper Rogers said, came to our house, and he was at Georgia Tech, and he said, you come to Georgia Tech, you're going to win the Heisman Trophy. And I was thinking, wow, that's I just wanted to win. I wasn't thinking about individual awards. I wanted to win the SEC and put on that Bulldog uniform. And so and then go into the quarterback controversy competition, me and Jeff Pyburn. And that was really very personal for both of us. Talk about relationship with Coach Dooley. He was a guy that was a man of his word, and I'll always respect that about him. If he told you something, you could count on it happening. And then we go through the 1980 season game by game, and it ends with the national championship win over Notre Dame.
Well, talk about Herschel Walker. Obviously, he was a difference maker for sure.
Yeah, I made a couple of recruiting trips down to Wrightsville, trying to really answer any questions that he had, and I write about it in the book. And he said he had a couple of questions, and I said, well, let's get them answered, man, because we need you up there. We had the team. I knew we had the team to do something special that year. We were in the I formation. We just needed a really, a running back that could carry the load to really complete the team. And once he showed up on campus, we had that covered. And so I knew we had a chance of doing some special things at that point.
Now go back to playing at Valdosta. I mean, obviously a program with big expectations every year. You're the quarterback, which obviously has its own set of expectations. Playing football in that pressure cooker, where you're in a lot of big games and tough football games in big environments, did that maybe prepare you for the big time at the University of Georgia that maybe a kid coming from another program might not have been as prepared for Georgia as maybe you were?
Yeah, I think I had an advantage, and really it was the coaching. Because at practice, we had the great Jack Rudolph. He was the defensive coordinator at Valdosta for 33 years. And he was coaching those guys up at practice. And they, we'd run a play, and it wasn't like we were trying to run as many plays as we could run. We'd run a play, and then the coaches would break down what happened on the play. And so I would be listening to Coach Rudolph tell the cornerback, okay, you got the flat, and this guy runs deep, and then we got the safety coming down. And so scheme-wise, I was way ahead of the curve when I arrived at Georgia as far as football knowledge goes. And that was just nothing but pure coaching at the Valdosta high level. And
now, one of the schools we cover here in Southeast Georgia is Pierce County. Obviously, that's where Stetson's been is from. Talk about a guy that's sort of a Cinderella story, a rags to riches story. Talk about what you've seen out of Stetson, not only physically but mentally, and just the way he's handled everything he's been through already at Georgia and then going into this year.
Well, I've always been a sucker for the perseverance storyline, and so he won me over just with his performance. There was a day and time I was thinking, okay, let's get JT Daniels in there and let's throw the football. And with his high performance level, just won me over. I'm just totally convinced they wouldn't have won that without him. And looking forward to seeing him play this year. He's going to play great again this year too. So I think that's going to be exciting to watch.
And just go ahead real quick. If somebody wasn't here tonight and wants to get a copy of the book, tell them where they can get it.
They can order it online at InsideTheHedges.com. Or they can just wait, and we're doing a tour all over the state. And so,
all right, Buck, appreciate your time, man. Good luck as you continue to circle the state signing that book.
Hey, thanks so much.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robinson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Calling us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
Welcome, sports fans, and thanks for watching On Air with 912 Sports. I'm publisher Sean Smoke, joined here by the head coach of the Richmond Hill Wildcats, Coach Matt Lazat. Coach, how you doing today, buddy?
Building the hill, baby.
Talk a little bit about where you guys have progressed from last season to getting ready here in the summer.
Well, the big thing for us was we continued to get better through the season, and if you look at our record, we finished strong in region play. Ended up being the 2 seed and hosting in region, but had a very tough non-region schedule. But the big thing about it was we're able to give a lot of young guys. I played more freshmen than I've ever played in my coaching career last season. And when you play that in 6A, you can get away with that in single A, maybe some double A. You can't do it at our level. You're good for about a loss for every freshman that you start at this level, and that was really it. A lot of guys cut their teeth against some very tough competition, but they're coming back, and so we're eager to get those guys back, and those guys know what to expect. They know what the competition's like, and we're excited about the group that we have. They really like football.
Right, and that leads me into my next question here, Coach. If you look at a lot of people, they got 3 returning starters on offense, 2 returning starters on defense. You guys are bringing a lot of kids back, and even if they didn't start for you, they played a lot for you. So let's start with the offensive side of the ball. Talk a little bit of some of those guys, those playmakers that you're going to be dependent on this year.
Well, 3 of the guys that pop off immediately, we're going to start with Rayvon Grant. And Rayvon's set back a little bit, broke his foot late in the spring, and he'll be back for July. So he's one of the most explosive players in our region. He was the best receiver in our region last year, and we have him returning. He's a tremendous ball player. And then we have consistency at quarterback. So back-to-back seasons where Ty Goldrick is going to be able to make some plays and distribute the ball back there. And then in the backfield also Zion Gillard, who had a really strong finish to last season, started to take the majority of the snaps late in the season. And those guys on offense, and not to mention the offensive line that those guys return. We take a look at our offensive line right now, and all 5 of the guys returning played significant time last year. And so maybe they weren't necessarily returning starters, but they were guys that played a lot. And we were forced to in a lot of situations, and we're really excited about those guys.
Right. Well, let's flip over to the defensive side of the ball, and who's some of the guys you're going to be counting on that side of the ball?
Well, Caleb Easterling is one of the top returning defenders. He's a guy that's played both sides of the ball, and you and I have talked at great lengths about him and his ability and the things that we asked him to do as a freshman last year, and he didn't flinch at all. He just rolled with it. Dante Goodner, D tackle, he's a guy that has played as many snaps as anybody on our defense, along with Ramon Moore. And Ramon Moore started off at inside backer for us last year, and we bumped him down the defensive line to increase our athleticism down there, and he's done a tremendous job. And then we got a lot of new faces that are going to show up, and again, they're guys that played snaps for us last year, not necessarily starters, but we're excited to have them in the program. They were good enough to play for us last year if they were able to get on the field, and they're going to be good enough to play for us this year, and we're excited about it. They're going to be young. We got a lot of rising juniors, rising sophomores that are going to be out there on the field, but we're excited about them, and they're excited about playing football, which makes it very easy to coach.
Well, Coach, one of the things that you guys did in the offseason is you stepped up to 7A. You're now part of the infamous SEC of the West in high school football in Georgia, with you guys, Camden County, Colquitt County. Valdosta's joining that group now. Tifton is gone by the wayside. But just talk a little bit about that new region and what you guys expect there going into 7A.
Well, I tell you that first and foremost, talk about the professionalism of not just the football coaches and the teams that we're going to play, but the entire athletic departments and the professionalism that we're going to be going against and have to mimic is going to be tremendous. It's going to be great exposure for our kids. When we saw 56 college coaches come through this spring, and when we're talking to them about the region that we're playing in, it's great to talk to them because they're like, there are question marks around a lot of folks in our area, whether they can play or not because of the competition that they play against.
Right.
There's not going to be any question marks whether our guys can play or not based on the competition that we're going to be playing against. And we've got a really tough region schedule, but our non-region is just as strong, and look forward to competing against all those teams.
Right. Well, the one thing about it is if you make it to the playoffs, you'll be battle-tested because you're probably not going to be playing many other teams much better than what you're going to play in the region. But, Coach, appreciate your time. Appreciate you being on air with 912 Sports. You guys keep getting better this summer, and we'll catch up with you in the fall.
Sean, thanks for everything that you do. As always, build the hill, baby.
Build the hill. That's Coach Matt Lazai, head coach of the Richmond Hill Wildcats, and you will be right back here after these messages on Air with 912 Sports.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
All right, Coach Rock, let's talk about the summer and what's happening with Glenn Academy. But first, let's talk about just the whole off season in general. How's it been for the Red Terriers?
Let me just say, Kevin, how excited I am that you were able to drag yourself out here with your never-ending string of Saturdays that you have in your life. Come out and visit the Red Terriers out here and talk ball. We've been working hard out here with our kids and all summer long, trying to develop kind of a mentality. We want to be physical, and today's the first day we get a really chance to get out here and bust each other in the chops some and see what kind of football team we have.
And Coach, go back to the spring. I mean, you guys really didn't have a true spring practice. Y'all had spring workouts and all stress workouts without a football. Yep. Talk about what you guys did during that period.
Just a lot of installation, a lot of drill work, back pedals, teaching wide receiver routes, those type of things. So many of our kids were playing baseball and running track. We just didn't, all the quarterbacks were baseball. We didn't have a quarterback. So it was didn't make sense to try to run out there and run plays if you don't have a quarterback. And a lot of our skill was at track. So, we felt that was the best thing, focus on the offensive line, teach those guys what to do.
And Coach, other than maybe the things you've already talked about, were there any 1, 2, 3 goals that y'all have had for the Red Terriers throughout the offseason, spring, summer, working toward the year?
1, we want to work on our conditioning. 2, we want to work on our character in our locker room. Those 2 for sure. I felt like last year we lost a lot of games because we just didn't have the right mindset. We kept some kids, tried to save some kids that we probably should have cut loose that weren't team kids, and that cost us games. So what we've been able to do, and since football season ended, is we just kind of looked around and said we're going to focus on having good kids. We told some kids they couldn't come back with a program after they made so many strikes against them. Wouldn't do what they were asked to do. What we're left with is what we have. I think we have a good group of kids, good core group of kids. They like each other. They play hard for each other. I think we'll have a good football team.
And Coach, along that line, I mean, maybe just to throw some names out there, is there any kids that have really kind of stood out, really worked hard, made some strides towards improving throughout the offseason and this summer?
Well, I think you'll see some names that have played for us in the past that were young. I think Peyton Parker has had a really good offseason. He looks really good out here. I think you're going to see some guys you've never heard of. Ryan Young is a big safety and wide receiver. I think is going to have a great season over the next 2 years for us, be a great player for us. A kid by the name of Willie Butler's in the same place, has worked really hard. Marshawn Turner, who played well at the end of last season, I think is going to be a good player for us through this year again. I think Tyler Devlin's looked really good during the summer, and I think he's kind of that core leader that you need to kind of people to rally around. Jack Hunt, obviously Greg Peacock. Greg Peacock is a dynamic player. He's going to be a really good player for us. David Prince is another one. But I think there's going to be a lot of kids that people don't know their names. Hank Noonan and Ryan Schuneman are 2 guys. Hugh Edgey's a guy. These guys were baseball players, came out for football. I think they're really going to be able to help us. Among a bunch of other kids out there that have just been working hard and have kind of bought into what we're trying to do.
And Coach, talk about Peacock. I mean, y'all brought him along slowly as a freshman last year, and he was really dynamic toward the end of the season. Obviously, he's going to be a focal point of the offense, but just seeing him out here today, I mean, he just looks even bigger and better just in uniform before he even put the ball in his hands.
He's gotten thick. He's gained a lot of weight. He worked hard in the weight room, and it shows. He is a dynamic kid. He's a kid that can score anytime he touches the ball. And he's something that we haven't had in a while, really, in running back. I mean, he's a big time player, and it's going to be a great crutch for us to lean on, just to turn around and hand him the ball. And I think we're going to be good on the offensive line. We've got a lot of guys up there that haven't played a whole bunch, but they've got a lot of potential. And I like those kids. I think we're going to see a lot of development with them. Hopefully by week 5 or 6 in the season, they're going to come around and be a good unit.
And Coach, one last thing, I think your long snapper made a big commitment. Go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, David Stanfield committed to Naval Academy. And, I mean, a great kid. He's one of the top 4 or 5 deep snappers in the entire country. And when a guy like that comes into your program, he showed up as a 9th grader, All-American deep snapper. I mean, that's like winning the lottery, because it's automatic with that kid. He runs down. He's a great kid, great program kid. Works really hard in the weight room. People like him. He'll do anything that he needs to do to win games.
All right, Coach. Well, keep up the good work, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Thank you.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robinson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
All right, Coach Derek, so we're going to talk about Frederica and just how the summer's going for you guys. I guess you've kind of been in the weight room on the practice field since school got out. Just talk about how the summer's going right now as you start to work toward the fall season.
We got about 30 kids on the team, and we have normally about 20, 21 kids every morning. We got some kids on vacation, doing things, and I thought we had a pretty good off season between January and up to May. I thought our kids worked out pretty hard in the weight room. We've been trying to prepare, getting numbers, going from 19 last year up to 30, but we got a lot of freshmen. I mean, we're going to have about 12 or 13 freshmen on the team. So, got a lot of youth. We're going to have to throw them in the fire, and they're going to be forged by fire. So it gets hot in that skillet, as a lot of people know as a freshman.
Now talk about that, Coach. I mean, this summer, is there any certain goals? Is it really just getting a lot of reps, a lot of experience for those young kids before you really get out on the field on Friday night and they really get tested under fire?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. The biggest thing is camaraderie, getting that team atmosphere, and like I said earlier, a little bit about our culture. We don't get out effort. Don't go play and have great effort all the time. And we're not going to walk off the bus and be the most talented team. At any time have I ever felt like I was the most talented team getting off the bus when we go play people. And we play a really tough schedule. We've played really tough schedules in the past. So we're going to be tested, and for us, it's one of those things to try to get them prepared. But like I said, ain't nothing gets you prepared like getting thrown in that skillet right off the bat, and it's going to be hot, and we're going to have to figure out how to adjust and make plays. And I hope our kids are able to do that, and our coaching staff will do the best we can to get us in the best position to win.
Coach, obviously he's out there calling plays with a new quarterback for you, Sutton Ellis, transferred from Brunswick mid-season last year, or mid-school year last year, between semesters. Just talk about him taking over at quarterback and the way he's looking so far.
Well, I think he's catching on pretty quick, learning curve's pretty quick. Sutton's a pretty smart kid. He'll be fine. Playing 7-on-7, there's no threat of running the ball with a Max Preps All-American tailback that we have. So right now we're not doing a lot of play action or any of that stuff. But as the game goes in, he's just got to be the game manager, plug and play and make plays, and I think he'll be fine. He's understanding the concepts of what we've got to do. He'll get us in the right spots. He's very knowledgeable in the game. So playing him some at free safety, he's never played defense either. So, I think he'll help us on both sides of the ball as the season goes along.
Now, you mentioned Jordan Triplett. He's been busy not only with Frederica, but based on social media, he's been attending some camps. I guess those are invitation type camps. Just talk about the summer he's having, not only for you guys, but out traveling around visiting the schools. I guess he's getting in a lot of good work as well.
Yeah, Jordan, he's a competitor. He goes to a lot of these camps. He's wanting to get seen, getting, going out and being that public figure. And Jordan's a great kid. He might be a better kid than him as a player, and for him, he's out. He wants to go to the next level, and I think he has all the ability in the world to go to the next level. If I were to, throw him in there and kind of give him a category, he's a Christian McCaffrey type guy. He can run the ball, he can catch the ball, he can do a lot of things. He's going to be pretty good down the road, and he gets better and better every day here working. He's a leader in the program, and I'm just excited for him and where we're going with it.
And Coach, maybe just to get a few more names out there, some kids that have maybe done some good work in the weight room and out on the practice field since you last played a game last fall.
Sam Norris, he's a great leader. We moved him from defensive end to Mike linebacker right here today. He's calling off shots, very knowledgeable kid working out. I think he's done a great job. Hamp Thompson being out here working. We moved him from defensive end to inside backer type position, and you got those guys having to make some adjustments, playing on, not down in the hand in the dirt and ears blowing back and going, but he's got to read keys and do some things. So I think those guys have done a lot of good things. Quan Vaughn, been over here, he's trying to be a big thing, weight gain. Hayes Carter, that outside linebacker, he's going to be a lot better. He started as a freshman last year, he'll be a sophomore, he's going to have some experience. I feel like we'll eventually start to gel down the road, but right now, we're not where we want to be, but I feel like as time goes on, you get the offensive and defensive line in here, it'll be okay with us. We're not going to be huge, but I think we do a lot of things right. So, and that's going to be the key. We got to be fundamentally sound, and we got to do a lot of things right to make plays happen.
All right, Coach. Well, keep coaching them up, and we'll talk to you down the road this summer, and certainly throughout the 2022 season.
Thank you.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Calling us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
This has been a presentation of 912 Sports.